Hey agents, it's Manny. In case you didn't know, after level 10 expertise, you need exotic components to upgrade expertise of gear or weapons any further. Now previously, we could hold a maximum of 20 exotic components, so there was never any reason to grind for them, but just recently they upped it to 999 because of how many you need to upgrade the expertise of a weapon or piece of gear. In this video, I'll show you a few different ways to get exotic pieces to break down for components. I'll then show you what I consider the fastest guaranteed way to grind for exotic components. Before we start, if you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button and ding that notification bell so you know when there's new videos. And if you're looking for someone to game with, you can find me and other players in the Militia Discord server. The link is in the description below. All right, guys, so the first way to actually get exotic caches, to get your exotics so you can break them down for exotic components, is your weekly projects. There's three of them. There's the weekly legendary, there's the weekly shade requisition, and the weekly summit project. So the weekly legendary this week is legendary capital building. Once you complete capital building on legendary, it will drop an exotic cache for you at the end by doing this project. However, given your group makeup, whatever, it could take anywhere from 25 minutes to an hour to do this one. So it's not really that efficient. Weekly shade requisition, this one is super easy. It's really just donating just food, receiver components, polycarbonates, electronics, whatever it happens to be. And I just got one. So that's how easy that one is to do. The Summit project, this one is 30 floors on Summit, any 30 floors, any difficulty, so it can be normal difficulty. You can cruise through it pretty quickly. It still does take time. I typically will get this one done while I'm grinding floor 10s. It'll just get done because you just grind floor 10 for a while with your buddies, and you'll get it. So you have up to 4 characters. So you can get 3 times 4 is 12, up to 12 exotic caches. Now, I'm not saying this is the best way of doing it. I definitely think the shade requisition is one of the best ways. You should always do this one every week. So you can at least get 4 for this. So those are 3 ways of getting exotic caches, and these are guaranteed ways of getting exotic caches. All right, so obviously there are ways to grind out. You can run Jefferson Trade Center a whole bunch of times, and maybe you'll get the Coyote Mask, and Potomac Event Center, and maybe you'll get Sweet Dreams and things like that. You can run, and you can bounties to get the Chameleon, but those are all random. You're not really sure. I'm trying to stay more focused on the guaranteed ways. Now, there are 2 weapons that are closer to being guaranteed drops, and they're not actually drops, but you craft them, is the Liberty Pistol and the Chatterbox SMG. I'm not going to go into how to actually get them both. There are plenty of videos out there. You can Google those or hit YouTube for them. Let me know in the comments below if you want me to see me make videos on those, because I haven't done them in a while. Now with Liberty, you have to kill a couple of bosses in different missions to get parts, and then you have to have a D50 pistol, and then you can craft it. With the Chatterbox, you have to gather you have to find keys, open crates, and do that. So those aren't as good. They're more time consuming, and you can really only do it, the Chatterbox you only do once a day because you only open the crates once a day. Liberty you can do as many times as you want, but it's still time consuming because you got to do 4 missions, plus you have to have those D50s. All right, now for what I consider to be the fastest, best way to get exotic components, right? So here's what we're gonna do. First things first, I want you to actually look in go to your main character, go to your resources, and make sure you have a lot of receiver components. You have up to almost 10,000 receiver components and 10,000 protective fabrics. I want you to max these out basically. And how you do that is obviously you break down gear and you get it. However, if you don't have it and you want to do it quickly, one thing you do is use your watch and just get a whole bunch of e-creds, and you can actually purchase. You can purchase pistols, which are only 5,600. Each one of these, when you break it down, will give you 23 receiver components, and then go ahead and try to find the cheapest piece of gear you can buy, and you'll get 23 protective fabric from that. So that's another way you can actually get stuff pretty quick. The other thing I want you to do is actually max out all of your ceramics, polycarbonate, steel, carbon fiber, electronics, and titanium. Max those out too if you can, but they're always the same so if you're doing this for 1 week, you can figure out which ones you actually need to max out on, so you don't have to waste all your shade requisition stuff. But you want to have these maxed out before we start, because we don't want to be bouncing back and forth between the 2 characters, because it will take time. So, basically just, max these out if you have the shade requisition for it, or just save them. So once you do all that and you got all the materials you need, I want you to actually log out. Now that's all the prep work you need to do. So the next thing you got to do is actually find the character, and you're going to actually delete him. Make sure there is nothing on the character. You don't have any gear you want saved or anything like that, because it'll really suck if you delete him and you lose something you wanted. So double check that he has nothing on him before you go and delete him. All right, once you've determined he has nothing on it that you want, go ahead and delete him, and we'll start a new agent. All right, so we're gonna do new agent. We're gonna start the main campaign. Do not go to Warlords. We're gonna start the main campaign. Just take whatever. We don't really care what they look like. We're just gonna take the first character that comes. Don't waste your time doing this, because we're gonna end up deleting him anyway. All right, so now we actually have to play through the story up until you get your first skill. So you got to do through the whole prologue, tutorial stuff. Go to the White House, talk to, is it Rhodes? Not Rhodes. You got to talk to whoever, Manny, I think it is, right? The division coordinator. Then go and acquire your first skill, and then I'll meet you back then, all right? This should only take about 6 minutes to do this whole part right here. All right, so now we've actually unlocked our first skill. So now what we can do is hit escape. We're going to go to the store. We're actually going to go to add-ons. We're going to scroll over to level 30 boost. We're going to hit boost character. Now you can see blah, 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 blah. We're going to boost. And boost them up. All right, so now that you are boosted to 30, what you can do is hit M and go to, well, wait for this tidal basin thing to finish up. And once you're here, now projects. And guess what we have? Weekly shade requisition. So now we can go in here. Now, receiver components, we don't have enough, so what we have to do is actually run back here first and go actually buy shared components, right? So we're going to talk to Inya. I would say her name wrong. And account shared blueprints, I don't care. Account shared materials, we do care about. All right, so now we're going to go and look at our projects again, and shade requisition, donate receiver components, protective fabrics, steel, and carbon fiber. All right, so now those are the only two things you have to worry about: steel and carbon fiber. Those are the two you can max out for this week. Now you notice I had no donate components. That is because you do not share supplies. So for the actual components, for the supplies, the best locations to get them are down over here by Lincoln Memorial, right? So food is right here. I'm sorry, water. This is the best place to get water. There's about 10 crates of water here. This is components. There's about 10 crates of components there. And then I believe right in this spot, there's a conflict right here. You just kill that real quick. Is 10 crates of food. So this is your best location to actually get those items. You could probably get all, how much do you need? 250? Probably get it all there. So let's go quickly down there and see if we can get our components. So let's fast travel down to Lincoln Memorial. All right, so here we are. We've actually run up here from Lincoln Memorial. Sometimes you get screwed and there's actually guys you have to kill, but you know, we want the receiver components up here. So if we just run around in a circle here, they might be a more efficient way to grab them. Here's one box. The second one, third one, fourth one. Fifth, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So that might not give us exactly enough. We might have to go run someplace else, but that's probably the best place you want to start with. So we look here, we got 226. So we just need another crate somewhere. And so that's not a bad start, you know. So just go one more place to find your caches. All right, because you get between 22 and 25 supplies per cache, whether it's food, water, or components, you probably won't get them all in that one location, but that is probably the best. That is by far the best place to start. After that, you might need a couple of additional components. So for example, components, you might want, this is a good place right here to get components. Just fast travel to Grand Washington Hotel if you need components. For food, down here, just go to the 1040 safe house. You can grab food here, and then water is right over here. So there's usually 2 to 3 crates or caches per area. That'll be enough to fill you up and get what you need. And we submit the last few. And we get ourselves a named item, plus we get an exotic cache. So we open our cache up. We got ourselves a pestilence, level 30, but we don't really care. So we're just basically going to take this. So we look at our resources just to verify. I have 113 exotic components. Let's dismantle this one. We want exotic component, resources. And we have 114 now. So to me, that's the fastest way to get exotic components, besides obviously doing your weekly requisition projects. You want to make sure you do those, because you can get at least, so for example, if you have one character like I do, my last character, I delete them and I recreate them and I use them for things like this. So if you're like me, you'll have 3 characters you can actually use and get those 3 shade requisitions. And then you can actually sit here and delete this character, recreate them, and just do that all over again. All in all, it took me about 10-12 minutes. Now, I was recording a video and I was kind of doing little things here and there on the side. So I think you definitely get more efficient, maybe get it under 10 minutes. So you're looking at about 6 exotic components guaranteed in an hour. That's not like getting drops. That's guaranteed. So hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you did, please hit that like button below and leave a comment if you have any questions. I'll do my best to answer it. If you'd like to see more content like this, then please smash that subscribe button. And also follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Maniocrity, where I stream Friday, Saturday, and Sunday evening starting at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I'd be happy to answer any questions live on stream. Till next time, agents, happy hunting.